Hi, I'm Teresa from Phoenix Gate Crafts, and let's talk about acrylic today. So acrylic is honestly the easiest type of yarn to find because it's the one you can easily find at all the big box stores. Lion Brand, Red Heart, Bernat, Karen, these are all big name brands that make primarily acrylic yarn. Acrylic is a man-made fiber, and the cool thing about it is that you can get it in any level of softness with any finish. There's a wide range of colors. The colors never bleed because the colors are not dyed. It is a man-made fiber that is made from oil, and therefore it is actually a form of plastic, which means that it is not an environmentally friendly fiber. However, it is cheap. You can find acrylic yarn anywhere from like $1 to $6 for 100 grams, which is about 3.5 ounces. It comes in a multitude of finishes. So a lot of people don't like Red Heart Super Saver because they say it's super rough. But I noticed that it feels just like Peruvian Highland wool, which is slightly rough. You can have some super soft and squishy stuff like this. I know that the brand Premier is redonkulously soft and squishy. I used that up. I got some for free and I used it up immediately. You can have it very finely spun that is very shiny and very soft, like Karen Simply Soft, which really mimics an alpaca silk blend, but it's 100% acrylic. So acrylic has a big range of how it feels and how it looks. Something pretty consistent that some people complain about is the fact that it feels very plasticky, and that's because it's plastic. What do you expect? So some don't feel that way, but some of the cheaper ones definitely do. What is acrylic good for? Well, acrylic can be anything that's not going to have too much wear and tear. So acrylic is really bad for socks because socks get heavy wear. And acrylic has a tendency of rubbing very, it can rub away fairly easily. Also, it does squish, but it doesn't squish to nothing the way that wool tends to actually do. So it's not very good for socks or anything that's going to be under high pressure. But because most acrylics are machine washable and dryable, they're really good for wearables like sweaters. This is a virus poncho that I made before the pandemic. I have a sense of humor, but I'm not quite that morbid. You can make hats, you can make mittens, you can make tops. Just be aware that if you're making anything for warm weather, that unlike wool, acrylic doesn't wick moisture away. It traps moisture next to your skin, so you might feel swampy or clammy, and because the moisture is staying by your skin, it's not pulling away and it's not naturally cooling you off when you need to. So just be aware of that because in some climates that's not desirable. But I do tend to use acrylic for blankets because it's really the only truly affordable option for blankets because, if you're making a lap blanket, you'll need anywhere from 4 to 6 balls of yarn. And if you're making a queen size blanket, you'll probably need, depending on the yarn and your tension and the stitch you're doing, you might need 10 to 20 balls of yarn. And that, if you're doing something that is, if you were doing wool, which tends to be about 3 to 4 times more expensive, that can be a very pretty penny you're spending on something that you need to be able to wash in a washing machine. Most acrylic you'll find as 100% acrylic, but there are the occasional blends with acrylic. A very popular acrylic blend is wool with acrylic. because you get the qualities of wool and the more natural feeling of the natural fiber, but you still have the acrylic in there cutting costs and helping with color consistency. Anything with acrylic in it is probably going to be a little bit more delicate. Another thing that happens with acrylic is it doesn't hold its shape. So unlike wool, where you have some stretch and memory, over time acrylic is going to stretch and stretch and stretch. So a lot of people put it with wool because the wool is going to help with that memory issue, so it doesn't continue stretching out. And it'll hold its shape for things like cables a little bit better. I don't think I've ever seen an acrylic blend with anything else, but it might be blended with something like nylon or cotton for a little bit more structure. Anyway, that is acrylic. So in this series, I am not necessarily posting videos in the order in which I film them because I'm lazy and I don't necessarily edit things in the same order. So if I haven't already posted it, the next one's probably going to be on alpaca. If it's not alpaca, it'll probably be about cotton. Happy crafting. Bye.